What's going on, everyone? Yes, today is another retro toy review, and yes, the organic robot that stands in front of you is called Eva Unit 01 from the epic manga / anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, this particular character here is one of the main character's robots, or like I said, organic robot. It is piloted by Shinji Ikari, and you pretty much go on a roller coaster of events dealing with Shinji and how his life kind of spirals up and down. It's a very, very good piece of material. So if you've never ever seen Neon Genesis Evangelion or read it, you should go ahead and do yourself a favor and definitely jump on that. But no further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this figure. And first and foremost, before I even start any of the main details that I always go over, I want to show one important thing. So I'm going to go ahead and go out of focus 1 second. I'm going to focus on this box. So I'm going to come back a bit. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this box is because it plays a very important factor if you decide that you might want this figure. If you notice, this figure is made by Soul of Chogokin, and this is from the Tamashi Spec line, and the model is XS-01R. The R is probably the most important part because the R stands for renewal version. If you buy this particular figure and it's not the renewal version of this particular Eva, you will have some downers, which I will be going over exactly what this model gives that the other one does not. I did own the old one. I enjoyed it a lot, but I must say this is a huge improvement because the main parts that actually made the old model not so likable on certain situations, this one excels. So it just makes that figure even more better, just having these small improvements. So let's go ahead and jump into the character and look at detail first. So first and foremost, this is just a basic skeleton. What you're looking at is how Eva Unit 01 should look under its armor. So it's kind of really simplistic. Now the thing is, do they ever show the Eva unit in this fashion? I don't remember seeing it in the book, and I know for a fact it wasn't in the old anime. They did show the face kind of bare at one small point in the movie, but and then you see it again on a particular event that I don't want to speak about because you've probably never seen it, so I don't want to ruin anything for you. But that's probably the only 2 times you actually see the Eva unit without this armor. But it's very, very nice how they designed it. So there you go. It's the back. You can see like the spine. Now, as for this figure with no armor, it's pretty basic. A lot of holes, pretty much because it's not really meant to be displayed without his armor. So that's why you got all these holes and so forth. Those holes are actually meant for the character's armor in the first place. So let's go ahead and look at height real fast. I'm gonna try to do this quick as possible because this particular figure does have a lot going on, so it still might be somewhat of a long review. This is your height comparison. This is a bigger Figma figure, and then you have your DC Talon figure. So he even comes taller than Talon itself. And let's go ahead and move this box out the way now so you can actually see a little bit better. Sorry about that. But that is the height. Alright, so let's go ahead and move them out of the way. Now, what I want to do is show you exactly what makes this figure so great. So, the main thing I want to let you know, this figure comes with a shit ton of accessories. But before I go into them accessories, I want to show you that this figure is able to be posed just as much outside of his armor. It can be posed just as much inside of his armor. So what you got going on here is a ball joint in the head, and the head can lift up about that high, can't really go down, so you can kind of see from the side. As for a tilt, a little bit, the neck is on a ball joint. It goes about that far forward, this far back, go about that far to the side. All right, and then going down to the arm, this is really, really nice. It's like, I can't really explain it. These is almost like ball joints. It almost feel like they're not. They're kind of engineered a little bit different, but they work like a ball joint. If you notice, you get that much range without even moving the actual shoulder itself. Now, you can do a full 360, of course. It's really easy. The joints is nice and stiff, and that's not because, not only that it's new, but it actually stay this stiff. Even inside of his armor, and the armor is die-cast metal. So this figure is really well put together. Looking at the shoulder itself, behind this piece, which I'm going to go ahead and show you real fast. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Behind this is just a swivel or on a hinge. All right, you can swivel right below the bicep, full 360 if you like. Double hinge elbow joint, gets really nice and close to the shoulder. You have a swivel on the wrist, do a full 360, and then you have a hinge attached on a peg. Nice range. All right, going to the chest. This is actually broken down in 3 sections. So let's go ahead and bring this down a bit. If you notice, chest actually, I'm going to show this too as I go, just because I won't be doing a bunch of back and forth. His chest piece, if you notice, it has 4 holes in it and actually has a very deep cut in the chest. Well, the nice part is that this figure is able to be displayed with a different chest piece altogether while having the armor on, which I'll show you the other chest piece. Give me 1 second real quick. Let's see. There we go. So you get 2 different chest pieces. Let's go ahead and focus real fast. So this is meant to actually have the full plate armor covering this thing called a core. That's called a core. So when the particular character had this situation happen kind of close to the end of the series, it revealed something called a core on its mech unit. And then you kind of find out that this mech is not as robotic as they think. But that's a very, very important part in the storyline, which is really nice. But they give you the opportunity to have either or. And I'll show you how that works in a second. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it going. All right. You have a ball joint here, a ball joint here, and a ball joint here. So you get about that much range going forward. You get about this range going side to side. You get about this much range going back. And then adding that extra piece, you get about that much going forward, which is nice, very nice. You get that much of a tilt, which is really nice. And then adding that other, going back, get about that much. When you add all 3 pieces, you get about that much without actually bending the hips. Really nice range. Get about that far over. Really nice bend. Really nice range of movement. Okay. Now, going down to the pelvis. These are on a swivel, going front to back. Can't go not past this line because the molded butt cheeks stop it. But as for going forward, goes pretty high. Works well. It is on a hinge, so it can go out this far, dealing with the splits, which is really nice range. You get a swivel right below the hip. Now going down further, double jointed knees, huge range, really nice. Going down to the shin, you have a cut here, which you can clearly turn if you like. And then you have a hinge Get you that much range going up, that much range going down, and then you have a side to side, huge range. And then you have a toe joint. All right, so that is all the articulation dealing with the bone structure of the AVA unit. All right, so let's go ahead and put this arm on this figure. Go ahead and move these parts out of the way. All right, first thing I want to actually show you, we're going to do the breakdown. So in order to put this arm on, we're going to go ahead and take him in half. Just pull apart. You're going to take this, pull that apart, take the knee, grab right above the actual knee cap, pull, same thing. All right, so we got this going on. Let me go ahead and bring the camera down a bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you transformation. So let's get the left side taken care of. And I'm gonna also tell you exactly what parts are die cast as I put them on. So, dealing with the pelvis. Let me go ahead and zoom in some. Sorry. There we go. So clearly this is the back, this is the front. So first part you got to put on, you have this right here. This is going to go, let's see, I'm trying to remember. This will go like this. So that goes over one, very nice and snug. So if you remember that figure I just did a review on, the Saint Seiya figure, remember how the armor was really loose on the body? This is not loose. Very nice and tight to the frame of the body. So you don't have to worry about nothing coming undone, which I really, really like. Now, what happens, this little piece here goes on the front, which goes into the two peg holes. You just push it down. It's in there nice and stirred. And push his knee in. That snaps back into place, right? Then you take this, which is the back part of the leg. Gonna go ahead and, let's see, where the hell is the hole at? There we go. So you push that down. That's how that looks. This is your front part. And everything works together really good. Nice and firm. Don't have to worry about no issues of it coming loose. Now, you do have a interchangeable foot. This is also die-cast metal. His entire shin guard, die-cast metal. Thigh piece, die-cast. This is plastic, okay? Which is really nice. Now, this just goes in here. Just push it in. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Damn foot guard all the way. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Snaps into place real good, nice and firm. It's in there. As for bend, he still have a huge range in his bend. And foot, really nice range up. That's on the ball joint, so you don't gotta worry about it breaking. That happens. Let's go ahead and put that back on real quick. Snaps right back in place. And it does move accordingly, so you can actually move it around the way you need to. All right, so that is that. He needs a kneecap guard. And there we go. Let's push this in. What the hell? There we go. All right, so kneecap piece is in. I'm gonna go ahead and put his other leg parts on. All right. That piece. And what's cool, when you get this figure, it will actually have everything separate in the tray, so you don't got to figure out what side is what. And if I'm not wrong, these parts actually should be labeled. Yeah, it is. Let me see if I can bring a close shot up of it real quick for you. You might be able to see it or might not. See that little R? Lets you know it's going on the right limb. So that's cool. You don't gotta worry about fudging up the situation. All right. Go ahead and put this shin piece on. Now the only thing is, once you put the armor on your figure, you probably won't be taking the armor back off, for the simple fact that you cannot put the figure back in the box fully armored up, unfortunately. You pretty much either got to have them completely back to frame or out of the box fully armored up. All right. So let's go ahead, put his other foot in. And this knee piece. All right. That is that. The hell. Whatever. All right. All right, so now you got the legs going on. Now you turn around to the back. You got 2 holes in the back. I'm gonna come up some. Two holes in the back of there. And this is kind of like some more thigh guards. If you notice, it got like this little weird black piece. This should be aiming towards the front, like so. Let's push that in. These are plastic, so these are not metal. All right. That is on. You have a butt guard and a crotch guard. So what this does is you take this part, and this is why you had to take the body apart, because you couldn't put the crotch guard on without removing the actual waist off. That goes in the front. Turn them around. Or her around, however you want to call it. Just in case if I got anybody out there that's like, it's a fucking girl and going nuts and shit. Either or. I call it him because I fucking call it him. But whatever. So that is the whole lower half taken care of. Now let's go ahead and move this aside. We're gonna go ahead and start putting on its other parts. So starting with its waist, let's take the 2 waist guards. Obviously the bigger one goes at the top. So push this up like so. And when you look, what holds this in place, which is very, very simplistic, but it works perfect. You see these 2 indentions. Each piece of armor has like a little peg. It just pops into the indentions and it holds it. Nothing's loose. It moves along with the actual joint, so that way you don't have to be hindered, which works great. Now, let's go ahead and put the other part on. Let's see. And just do be careful, because these are plastic pieces. These are not die-cast metal. You don't want to end up scratching anything or breaking anything. All right, so that is on. Let's go ahead and snap it back together. Now it's together. All right. Now, let's go ahead and put the forearm fins on real quick. I'll zoom out a bit. Take the fins. Let's go ahead and turn that arm around. And these go in pretty simple. It's just aiming the fat part towards the under armpit, then part going towards the hand. And let's see, where is that part? There you go. Or if you just don't know, if you look at the actual, these should be facing inwards, like towards the body. The little holes that you see, that side doesn't have any. Let me go push that part here. What the hell? Hold on. I'm tripping. Alright. It's in there. So, now you got that going on. So this is why I didn't put the chest on first. Because I'm going to show you a quick thing. Like I said, I don't want to be moving backwards. So I'm trying to move forward as much as possible. Remember I was telling you about the core, right? So this here, what the hell is that? Oh, so many parts. There we go. This here is the chest piece. Now, this is what you want to be extremely careful with. So this right here can be removed to reveal the core plating. So if I put the core on, if you notice, you can't put it on with that piece on. It doesn't get close enough to the armor. Where you notice with that piece is on, the other chest actually gets right up to it. Okay? If you get this figure, because since this is my second time having one, I kind of already had to learn how to deal with it because they don't really explain this well with the instruction manual that you get in the box. When you take this, you do not pull out. It will not come out. It will stay locked. You take your thumb pretty much, you apply pressure going downwards. So if you do this and pull, it comes out with ease. You don't got to fight with it. And then if you notice, now the core is revealed. Okay, I'm not going to be using that piece of the chest. I'm going to use the standard. So I'm going to push this back in. Heard it snap. It's in there nice and tight. It will not come off. I'm going to go ahead and put his chest back on, which also clicks in very easy. Let's go ahead and come up real fast. There we go. And let's focus. All right. Take the chest piece, push it on. All right, and let's make sure I didn't botch nothing. Actually, take it off. Sorry. Don't put the chest piece on yet. You want to put his shoulder pads on first. Well, trap pads, however the fuck you want to call it. Because they don't technically go on his shoulders, but they go right up around the neck. Let's go ahead and get that out. It's like the chest piece kind of goes on last. So the way this works, it has peg at the top, the hole in the front. This side goes on this side. Actually, the way it should work, put this on the armor first. So connect that hole onto that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and connect it real quick. It's really simple, nothing major, and it's nice and flush, which I will show you in 1 second. All right, so if you notice, nice and flush to the chest plate. And now put the chest piece on. If you look at the top, focus real quick. If you look at the top, you can see the shoulder pads and the holes. Push it down, bring it over. Let's see. Why you gotta be a bitch? All right. So now it's in there. All right. Now the other part you gotta do, because you're transforming this into the other part, this right here. See if I can get this out. Shit. Matter of fact, best way to remove it, pull the head off. Head is off. Pull off the back piece. Oh, in order to pull this off, you have to slide forward. Put a little bit of weight going forward as you pull. Let's see if I can actually get it off. There we go. Now it's out. So he's missing his head, and he's missing the part where the Let me see. Where the actual pilot goes. So I'm going to focus real quick. So we move that out the way. So now you have an interchangeable head and that part. So that part that I'm speaking about, so you know you're facing it the right way. You open it up. That's a little hole where the pilot goes, and this lifts up, just like the cartoon or the manga. And you pretty much just slide this down, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Let me see. Damn, I forgot which way this shit face. This so long as I fuck with it. I think I got it right though. Wait a minute. There we go. I think I have it. 40 fucking minutes later into this shit. Hold on one second. Okay. After being ridiculous. So now it's on. So big part faces down, short part faces up. Here's the head. Oh, and before I put the head on, let me go ahead and show you this real quick. I told you this was going to be kind of a long review. I wasn't bullshitting. So, let's focus on the head real fast. This is the improvement. It's in two parts. The neck joint, which is in the body that goes into the head, is actually a lot longer. A lot larger and longer to actually give you more mobility with the neck itself. Then his head now has an actual extended neck piece. So you can pull up the head to actually do a real berserk mode. The original does not have that. The original, his head can barely even turn left and right due to the fact that his neck was so fucking stocky and large, it just would not work. So they actually improved that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the head into the neck, or into the body rather. Let's go ahead and focus. And there you go. So now the head can go down, go back. If I extend the neck, it can go forward, then go outwards. Mouth can open up. Really nice range. Looks really good. Did a really good job. Huge improvement. I'm gonna push the head back down. And the cool part is, even when the head is down, it still can open its mouth perfectly fine. So that is really cool. All right. So let me go ahead and grab his fins for his shoulders. And I'm also gonna grab his major back piece. All right. So his back piece goes like this. It just snaps pretty much in place. Nothing major that you have to do, because the way the actual back piece is designed, it actually goes right over the parts that was guarding the neck, which kind of holds that in place. You don't have to worry about nothing coming undone, which is really nice. As for the shoulder guards, the way these work, their shoulder already attached. You're gonna go ahead and slide them up into the shoulder. So the way this works is pretty much, and the reason I'm showing this is because when I first got this figure, taking them shoulder pieces off that you seen me take off earlier were the biggest pain in the fucking ass. The directions was a bastard, and I really did not get it. It took me a minute to get it, and you want to be careful because you don't want to break that joint, because these shoulder guards is actually protecting that swivel from being broken or twisted the wrong direction. So you definitely want to make sure you do it right. All right, so it's nice, placed in there. Got one, let's get the other. All right. gotta remove the hands. So that is why we're not fully complete yet. So I'm gonna come back a bit. The hands come off extremely easy. Hold the joint, pull the hand off. And what I like about it, you don't have to fight with these hands, but they're so perfect that don't fall off. They just come off like they should. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the basic ball fist. That way I can show you certain accessories and don't have to fight along with the figure when I show it to you. Same thing goes, hold the joint, apply pressure on it so you won't break no peg off. Alright, that is on there. Let's do the other one. Alright, there we go. So that is all of the Ava unit in its glory. Let's go ahead and pull back a bit so you can see. Figure looks great. Really, really nice job dealing with Bandai. These Solar Chogokin figures are so nicely done, and it has weight to it. Like I said, the posability is not hindered. Everything works together really well. His crotch, like not his actual crotch, but his crotch, like he can crotch over really well, he can lean over really well. They nailed this figure. This is probably one of the best Ava units that you can pick up for sure. Just to kind of give you an idea, I'll hit a quick pose with it. So this figure is really, really nicely done. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put him aside 1 second so I can actually show you the massive amount of accessories that you're gonna receive. So you get the 2 ball fists that you just seen. You've seen the parts I pulled off as well. All right. So this is the crazy amount of stuff that you get. You're gonna get the umbilical cable plug part, and you also get the rubber cable as well. It's just in the instruction manual right now. I don't feel like pulling it out, but it's just a rubber tube, nothing more. Just attached to that, and this pegs right into the back itself. You get the entry plug, push that right there, where the pilot goes into. It's really nicely detailed. If you notice, you can see Ava 01. It's pretty tiny, but it looks really great. You're going to receive a full-size knife, just the handle of the knife. Now, the reason why you get just the handle of the knife, or the high-frequency blade, because one shoulder holds the blade. So what they did, they didn't want to actually put the entire knife inside the shoulder fin. If you notice, which I'm going to show you real quick. If you notice, look how thick this shoulder fin is and this shoulder fin. So this goes for the sleek look. This goes for actually hidden poses to make it look like it's pulling this blade out. What happens is you lift this up like the show. This splits apart. And it's a little thing in there that I can't get right now. Oh, that it is the holder of the blade. So what happens is you make it look like he's pulling the blade out, and half the handle of the blade is actually sticking in there, so it's like he's about to pull it out, which is really, really cool. So they gave that iconic look. So you get that fin, and clearly you have to take off the fan that I have on them currently off in order to put these on. This right here was only shown in the movie, and it wasn't Ava Unit 1 that used it. It was actually Ava Unit 2. And you get the nail gun, which if you split this apart, you see like these little ports where pretty much they shoot like nails into its enemy, which that's also a very, very nice, unique look. So you're gonna get that. You're gonna receive some shoulder guards just solely by itself. That just says Ava 01. Well, Ava 1 rather. Now this here is actually meant. Oh, it's not on there. Never mind. Yeah, you just get a basic arm piece with no fin on it at all. So you're gonna get 2 of those, of course. You're gonna get kind of a relaxed hand, which is really nicely sculpted. Looks really well. You're gonna get 2 of those. All right. You're gonna get 2. This will be the sword hand, or hold the sheath, but I'm pretty sure it just holds the sword. So you're gonna get this hand, and it is firm, so you don't gotta worry about the sword falling out or anything ridiculous. And the way that looks here, it's this right here, which is also really nice. Now this sword, I think, was shown in the books. It was not shown in the anime. All right, and what's cool, you have a little arm or hand guard that comes down, so you can actually protect the hand. Or in this case, it actually meant to lock the sword in its sheath. So I'll show that to you in 1 second. Let me go ahead and go through the hands first. You're gonna get kind of a thumbs up, but it's really meant for the progressive knife. All right, so you get that, but that's what it's actually meant for. And you can actually use it to hold the barrel or under the barrel of the pallet rifle. So this hand can be used as multiple situations, or meant for multiple situations. You're going to get this hand, which is meant for the pallet rifle. You notice the finger sticks out further. Okay, and you can use this on the handgun, which I also will show you in a second. And same thing goes. Even though this is a different hand scope, you can use this with the pallet rifle or the handgun. It don't really matter. It'll still get the job done. This one looks kind of weird because how long the finger is, but it does work perfectly fine. All right, so you get that. Now, since I already have the sword already out, let me show you how the sword works. Pull this out real quick. This is nicely detailed, or clean rather, real clean cuts. This pretty much goes like this. All right, in the sheath. And it's not gonna go nowhere, it's not loose, anything of that nature. The yellow guard, like I said, it's supposed to just give the look as it locking the sword into place. So let me go ahead and put that on real quick so you can see it yourself. And that's how it look. It just holds the sword. What's cool about this too, if you notice, it's 2 little dots with 2 pegs on there. That is actually meant for, you have these little brackets and they attach to the fin of the Ava unit. And what you do is, which I'm going to show you, and just to let you know, these brackets that you see me with, they actually have a set side, so you can't mistake, you can't put the wrong sword on the wrong side. It's meant for you to do it right, so you don't got to worry about it. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. If you notice, I'm going to go ahead and zoom up. Well, actually you can see it kind of from here, but I'll zoom up though. If you notice, this part is square, this part is circular. So these parts are circular, obviously, so you don't got to worry about fighting with it and trying to figure out which way it goes. It goes on there, like so. Then you have this small blade. I don't know exactly too much about these blades, so I don't want to say nothing wrong. This is a smaller blade. This one almost like is used almost like a gun, because you see a trigger attached, where the other one did not. Oh, actually the long finger hand, I think it's meant for this. So now I remember. Yeah, it actually goes on this one. So, but you do get that. And the way that works, you just pretty much, same thing goes. You just sheath it. Let's see. There you go. Locks in place. It's not flimsy. Doesn't feel crappy. And when you attach it to his fin, if you notice, these are square, of course. And you just go ahead and place them with the holder. You know what? Oh shit. Okay. So not only they make sure that you put it on the right side, if you notice, this has a longer slot, this has a shorter slot. It matches up. So technically I need to have these swords swapped around, or the other one rather, because I clearly got that shit the wrong direction. But you get the premise. This snaps onto the fin. It kind of just holds right on the back of the fin, and that's where it goes. I'll show photos at the end of the video. So you get that. You get the pallet rifle, which is very simplistic but very nicely painted. Okay. You're going to get a Desert Eagle. Now what's cool about this Desert Eagle is that it has a sliding mechanism, which is really nice, and you also have a clip, functional clip removal, which is also nice. So this is really cool. So that is all of the accessories that you get with Ava Unit 01. So I know that was a long review. I apologize, but had to show it because it does come with a lot. You have a lot of capabilities with this figure. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you are an Evangelion fan and you never seen this figure, or you always thought about it but didn't know if you really want to get this figure, I'm gonna tell you right now firsthand, I owned it once. I sold the old beat up one. It wasn't beat up, but you know, with the flawed parts. And I still missed the shit out of it. And I was like, man, I need to get this figure back. So this figure was $300. It came down in cost to $200. I found them on Amazon. And I must say, it was worth every dollar to me. I actually really, really enjoyed this figure. And like I said, the die-cast metal in it makes it even better. So, and they did it smart. They put all the metal in the legs, so there's no type of weird off balance. So when you do a pose with this figure, it holds a pose like it should. So that's the great thing about this Ava unit. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed the review. Trust me when I say this, pick this figure up. And by the way, the entry plug can actually go into this figure. It fits in the back of the neck. I'm just not taking out the plastic because I don't want to, because I never use it anyway. But it does fit in the back of the neck. It doesn't fall out. It works great. And the part that lifts up pretty much ejects the plug for you, so that way you don't get it lodged in the back of the neck. But that is the end. Remember, definitely sub, hit the like button. Hope to see you back to check out more reviews. Y'all continue to collecting shits, and y'all have a great one, and take care.